pro-tram campaigners from outside the county to lie about who they were to drum up support for the tram.
Okay, let me give you the facts about that, Alan. As Cabinet portfolio holder for Jobs, Business and Growth, that's a huge responsibility. Now, the last thing that I was going to get embroiled in yesterday was a tit-for-tat argument with Councillor Richard Jackson, which was essentially about a screenshot. That's the sort of turns people off politics, grown men organising about that, as opposed to really what it should be. It should be about.
All right.
jobs.
Yeah. I mean, what actually you were accused of? What you were accused of was urging pro-tram campaigners from outside the county to lie about who they were to drum up support for the tram. Do you deny that?
Which is in fact not true. Let me tell you what the actual facts were now as well. I've been accused over the past week of subverting democracy, railroading decisions, posting all sorts of items on social network sites. Well, I'm afraid, to all of my accusers, none of that is true. I've been accused of writing to lots of people and asking them to post as aliases. That is not true. I have not gone on one single social network site and said that. What I did, in response to one email that came from one person who was a supporter, but who was so cross with the way that the Tories were stirring this up, he emailed me to say, look, these are the facts, Richard. I'll send them in. Shall I use an alias? To which I suggested, yes, get your comments in. If you use an alias, have to. But, Alan, what all this is about...
Why did you say use an alias? You wanted to imply he was from your area when he wasn't.
No.
Well, why use an alias?
Alan, this is...
Why use an alias?
This is the silly season.
Why encourage somebody who wants to contribute to your debate to use an alias?
Alan, people write to the paper, and honestly, but listen, this...
No, just answer my question. Why did you say, use an alias if you want?
Because people can do that. People sometimes...
Well, because he can isn't really an answer. Why did you, in this very contentious issue, and let's not forget, £20,000 of council taxpayers' money is ultimately likely to be spent on a study which, from where you've spoken, is already decided that the tram's a good thing for Kimberley. And then there's somebody outside the area who's a tram fan, and that sounds as though you're saying to him, if you can imply that you're from this part of the world, that'll help my case.
No, still the facts.
Well, why ask him to use an alias then?
Well, whether somebody lives in Kimberley, whether somebody lives in Sheffield, no matter. But listen...
Well, no, it does matter, because it's a local issue, and you're a local councillor, and it sounds to me that you are admitting that you wanted somebody who's not part of your constituency to put forward pro-tram ideas from outside the Broxtowe Borough Council area.
Alan.
But make claims that they were from within the area. Is that right?
Alan, no, Alan. This is the silly season, right?
No, it's not silly at all, Councillor. Please, let's be very serious about this. There's nothing silly about this at all. And I'm very concerned because you haven't really answered my question. Why did you say to him it's okay to use an alias?
I suggested that. Alan, listen.
Yeah, why?
Okay. Right, okay. Will you let me finish? Okay. This is the silly season, right? Politically, there is an election 3 months away. No.
I'm not talking about a general election, and I don't care what season it is. All I want to know is why did you say to him, use an alias?
People will try and discredit. I'll tell you what that you should do, right, okay?
No, don't tell me what I should do. Just answer my question. Why did you say that it would be okay for you, this person who was a fan of trams to use an alias?
Right. Perhaps what you would do for the people who are criticising, on my Twitter account yesterday, this is what was posted.
So, sorry, you're not making any sense now. Just answer my question, if you would. Why did you say to the person, it's okay if you use an alias? What were you hoping to gain from that?
I wasn't hoping to gain anything from that.
Really? So you think it's... because now it's backfired on you. Obviously, people are turning around and saying, well, he's deceiving people by implying that support for the tram is coming from within the constituency when perhaps it's not.
Alan, far from it. This campaign for the tram has been running for the past 7 years. Councillor Andy Cooper, who is chair of I Like TENTAG, which is a non-party political group, has got support from local residents, from campaigners, from Fresh Group. This has been a victory for
okay. So you're not actually going to tell me. You're not going to tell me why you said it's okay to use an alias, other than it's the silly season. Is that the answer?
This is a free country.
Oh, it's a free country and it's the silly
Yeah.
season. Thank you. We'll leave it there. Thank you. Now we know why that councillor thought it was OK for people to be using false names when putting points of view, and indeed it seems misrepresenting where they come from. Interesting times.